Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and damn, I need to say it feels good to be back on YouTube. Well, I hope you guys had a wonderful new year, and I hope 2022 has a lot of good things coming your way. So recently I've been back on Crystal and I have been trying to have some fun again on the server, and I'm super happy with how positively I was received by the players, and I am shocked on how much the server has changed. The server changed its owner, there were new exploits that have appeared and been fixed, new builds, and new players that have been frequenting the server, and I just didn't know them before. To be honest, this week's video was meant to be a sort of End Crystal Adventures episode 5, but turns out I didn't have that much interesting footage, so I just didn't want to make a video where I found just boring bases that common players build, and no stashes, no griefing, nothing, and well, so the video's not done yet. It might come out or it might not, I don't know, depends on what I find. So, going straight to the point of this video, one of the things I have been seeing the most on my return to the server are new players being stuck around spawn for hours upon hours until they get portal trapped and just disconnect for the server. So today's video is meant for those new players, which they seem to be coming very often. I usually didn't see that much new players when I was playing. So here is my guide on how to survive End Crystal spawn. I like to begin by saying that some of these tips works on all Anarchy servers, but some are more focused on End Crystal itself. So picture this, you log in for the very first time. You're greeted by a wasteland of bedrock filled with withers, mobs, and ender chests. As the avid FitMC fan you are, you know the best way to run away from the scales is through the nether, but that's the first major red flag you'll face. Do not go into nether portals near spawn, especially if you don't have hacks. Getting portal trapped is by far the worst thing that can happen to yourself, and without hacks, the only ways to get out are mining obsidian with your bare hands, which takes 4 minutes and 10 seconds per block, getting killed by other players, or just having chorus fruit, which is an item that you don't get access to that easily. Not all kits have chorus fruit, not all players are gonna give you kits, and well, if you just beg in chat for chorus fruit, that's just a way to get yourself killed. So the first major tip I can give you on how to skip spawn is don't go through portals near spawn. Another pretty common thing for new players to do is not use the /kill command. It is an important tool to survive, as many times while you're trying to get to the highways you get stuck inside a bedrock row, or just have not enough hunger to get away, or just spawn way too far from 0-0 on a shit spot. To the point where it's not even worth it to waste all your saturation to get to the highway. So yeah, if you just joined, you have no gear, it's not like you can care about your KD ratio on the server yet. In over a year of playing End Crystal, I've had many friends of mine join the server. Most of them didn't want to go through the hassle of installing hacks and setting all of them up to work nicely in End Crystal's anti-cheat. So what I did was come up with a very easy and simple route to escape spawn. If you have dabbled on Anarchy servers before, this route is kind of obvious, but if it's your first time and you don't have any experience, this is a lifesaver. In the beginning, you are just looking to survive your first days on the server, as you don't have equipment to find duped item stashes or other bases. All you want is a nice place to settle and store what little you have in the beginning. So here's how the route goes. First, you don't want to stay too low on the bedrock. If you are over 400 blocks away from 0-0 at your spawn, you can spawn above the bedrock floor, which is one of the best possible spawns. Your main goal wherever you spawn is to get to one of the highways in the overworld. It is by far the best and safest way to get out of spawn. If you walk about 2500 blocks away from 0-0, you'll probably be safe enough to go into the nether and don't get portal trapped. And if the portal itself is on the overworld highway, there's a very high chance that you'll spawn right on the nether highway and have a free pathway to the tens of thousands of blocks away from spawn. There you will be able to find wood, food, resources, and shelter, but still not enough to have a permanent base. On that point, it's important that you find stuff like diamonds, obsidian so you can build portals wherever you are, a good amount of food so you don't run out in the nether, and head even farther away from spawn, like 10 to 100,000 blocks away from spawn. This distance will vary on many factors, like how close to the highway you wanna be, which highway you took, and which server you're playing on. Older servers tend to have longer stretches of wasteland before you can find good terrain. So, when you want to settle on a permanent base, it's good to be further away from the highway, but I personally don't like to go over 10,000 blocks away. It is way easier to go out for adventures and explore around the server. I'll have a video coming up showing you guys how to hide your items better, so stay tuned for that when you start to have real valuables that you might want to keep. This is the most basic escape route I have found over my time playing on the server, and it can consistently get me out of a tough situation whenever I don't have items for my friends as soon as they join the server, or when I was first starting to play, I had to develop my methods to go around the server. On the topic of other players, it is always best to avoid them, even if they are just a naked guy with no items like you. They might be someone with experience that just got back to spawn, or they might have a hacked client and will just kill all of you to death in an instant. My general recommendation is to stay away, especially from the bedrock floor on 0-0 Nether. It is by far the worst place you can be. There are always geared players crystal PvPing there, and even if you do manage to outrun them with life, you'll be hit by a lava wall with no mineable or placeable blocks nearby. It's better to just kill yourself and try again, to get a little bit of a higher ground. It is also very common for players to give you kits right before they kill you, especially ones with access to large dupe stashes, so even if you do get a kit, it's not worth it to just trust people you don't know. Remember, this is not Hypixel. No one here wants to be your friend. You'll be hunted and killed mercilessly, even by me. I usually don't go for no players, but sometimes they just bother me, or I'll just be having a bad day and want to vent out some feelings, and will go for the killing blow without remorse. It's always good to keep that in mind. No one here is your friend. This is anarchy. Now, I like to list some useful items that you can find around spawn before you go on searching for a permanent base. Item number 1. Shulker boxes. You can find a huge amount of shulkers around the main spawn area. Most PvPers just leave their shulkers behind when they want to fight, and it is super common to just have one lying around spawn. Maybe, if you're lucky, you might even find ones that still have items in them. Though keep in mind it is never a good idea to use your only kit around spawn, because you might get killed and lose it. So keep it in your chest and wear it when you're far enough from other players. Item number 2. Dirt or gravel or moss. Those blocks are found mostly around the 350 to 500 block range away from spawn, which you can totally spawn on this range, so it's good to keep a bit of those blocks with you to prevent things like getting stuck on a bedrock hole or drowning in water. Item number 3. Chorus fruit. This might just be one of the most important items you can have. It is not common at all to find it. It's contained only in exploration kits and some PvP kits, but they can save you on a multitude of ways, be it teleporting you to the ground while you fall to your death, or getting you out of a portal trap, which again, as I said earlier, is one of the worst things that can happen to you. Item number 4. Obsidian. Obsidian is useful because sometimes you'll find yourself away from portals. This can happen especially in the Nether, where you're trying to go back to the overworld. What I did in my first experiences was mine around for diamonds was still relatively close to spawn. Just enough to make a diamond pickaxe and collect a small amount of obsidian. Just enough to make like 2 or 3 portals. That's good enough to save you from a tough situation, and also won't take you too long, because also you don't want to spend your first hour on the server just mining obsidian, so yeah. And item number 5, boats. Okay, this one only applies if you have a hex client, but if you can get your hands on a boat with the boat fly hack, you can go very far, very fast, and it's easier to come around than an elytra. It is pretty common to just find boats around the Nether highway, so that's a nice, safe and fast way to travel around. Just note that boatfly or elytras won't work on the bedrock roof in the Nether. So, finishing off the video, I'd like to thank you all for waiting so long for me to return, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. To be honest, don't know if I'll do only end crystal content. Actually, there's a pretty high chance that I will do other stuff. And also, I have a lot of ideas in mind. I will try to make one video a week. I'll try to release it every Friday, as it is a day that most people are online, and it's a nice day to just chill, relax, and watch a nice YouTube video. And also, I have been living in a new town and making some new friends. They all speak English, so that's a pretty nice, positive thing that happened to me that will make me have more fun making YouTube videos. So as always, thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.